Hi. Can you see me and hear me? Here, this is not working here. Hi. Oh my God, what is that? Paul. I can't hear anything. Is that your background?
No, that's yours. Hold on, just one
Or is
second.
that Paul's?
Something weird happened.
How do I turn this volume up here?
Okay, hold on, just one second.
Hold on, stand by here. So I have her on picture here.
It's amazing.
God, she's beautiful.
Hey, girl.
Say hi to my friend Jessica.
Hey, Jessica.
This is my friend Paul.
How are you? I was so nervous when I saw Paul. I was like, did we get hacked? Is there gonna be like some porn in the background? I didn't know what to do.
What is that big boob thing in the background there?
That's your background.
Wait, we need to take that off. That's like crazy.
I mean, I was like,
I did that as a joke
for breast cancer awareness. That's great.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I did that as a joke for work.
And oh my God, that's so funny. Okay, I need to retry this. Something happened.
All right. Where is that?
We need to take that out.
Oh, no kidding. That is embarrassing.
Okay. It's really funny. I enjoyed it.
Oh,
I think to go to that
where's the background thing?
reaction security, go to the video portion on the left side of your screen. There's an up arrow. Click that up arrow, and then it says choose virtual background. There you go.
Okay, so this goes in here.
Yeah, I won't be able to hear her if you do that.
At all?
No.
Really?
Should I take these out? Is it better with earphones, Jess, or?
If it'll just be less echoey, but it's not a big deal. I had a service that'll like refine it, so it'll be a little echoey, but it's no big deal. But yeah, yours has a microphone. If you're able to plug it into the laptop, try it. But if not, no biggie.
Well, these are plugged into the laptop. Am I doing something wrong?
Can you hear me with your?
And you got to put them on right.
They're on wrong?
Yeah.
Like that? Well, don't yank them out of my ear, bro.
Just go.
Yeah.
Or does this look stupid, Jess?
It doesn't look stupid. I have big headphones on, and I have a big microphone right
Can
now.
Can you hear her? Can I wear these and can he hear you?
It doesn't matter if he can hear me. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Doesn't matter if he can hear you.
Or should I just take these out?
It's up to you. Whatever you're comfortable with. All right. Just go ahead and talk. I want to test it.
Okay, so how do I,
Okay.
is this normal like this? Because I can't really see your face.
To do that, go to the top, you can do speaker view, you can do gallery view.
There we go.
There we go.
Okay.
Hi. You made it.
I'm so sorry I'm late.
Oh, that's okay.
You get a picture of us? Sorry about that, Jess.
Oh, don't worry about it. It's Saturday morning, and I was kind of lazy getting ready too. So.
No, I got up early and then I was just doing a bunch of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, Chris is still in bed, so don't worry. Lazy jerk. He said he's going to come in. So I was like, yeah, come in. I can edit you out of the podcast. That's fine. So
I love your picture in the background. Is that right here?
I don't know. I think it's from IKEA or something. Chris is, I don't know. This is just one of our spare bedrooms. So
a spare bedroom for me for when I come visit.
Exactly. We'll have to clear the bed off. There's a lot of junk on the bed, but yeah, we have like 2 spare bedrooms. It's really nice. Like Chris's sister, Kenny, well, she was just furloughed, but she was flying for American, and she was out of LA. LA was her, I can do a screenshot too if you want.
Yeah, will you?
Yeah. Let's see if
it'll
let me do that. Command Shift 4.
Take a picture, Paul. Make sure you edit this out.
No, I like that soundbite though. All right, so 1, 2,
You have no
3.
idea the sound bites that she and I have.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right,
No,
go. Paul, come on.
No, Paul. Just take the picture.
Did you get a screenshot?
I did. I'll do one more. But it was of you laughing. It was really cute, so I had to take it. All right, 1, 2, 3. Okay, cool.
Awesome.
All right, super. I just want to make sure, like, I can hear you in here, right? Okay.
Okay, no, be quiet. So this is like a real deal.
Gosh, Paul, be quiet. So, like with this, if you want, I can post this to my YouTube channel. Only thing with that is that I guess I can try to edit, but I just throw the video up there so people
Sure.
can kind of just see like the, I guess outtakes in the background of it all. But just for the audio, I like edit. So I pull things out.
Sure.
So like right now, it's not going to be part of the podcast yet. So
Okay.
it's all good in the hood. So how
Well,
are you?
so
Are you
good to
nervous?
see you.
What's that?
It's so good to see you.
It's good to see you too. It's been a really long time other than on like social media.
I think the last time I saw you was in Mexico, like in person, I think.
Really?
Remember I was in Mexico for a trip for work and I just randomly saw you guys at a restaurant?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
like, oh my God.
Yeah.
I
Like
think
it was
last time-
Cabo, right?
It was, yeah, Cabo. Yep.
Yeah. Yeah. We were there for Chris's like plane or something like that. So that's funny. I forgot about that. Cause
And I was just in Huntington Beach and I know that you live down there, but I had just gotten off a 20-day shift and I was kind of hanging out with my friend
dude, I
for
totally
a day
understand.
and I forgot to call you.
That's okay. We're like 30, 40 minutes from there. So yeah, next time we'll come down. We'll make the trek.
Or I'll
Not
come
too
to you.
far. Yeah, it'll be fun. So are you back like in Northern California? Are you back home?
Yep, I'm in Northern California and I took, tomorrow I leave for a hike. I'm going to meet 3 friends in Coeur d'Alene. Oh, I'm flying into Spokane and then we're going to drive to Coeur d'Alene where my friends live and we're going to do some hikes and then we're going to drive 3 hours to Leavenworth, Washington.
Mhm.
I've never been to Idaho or to Washington. Oh, I've been to
Me
Seattle.
either. I've been to Seattle. I've never been to like the outdoorsy part of Washington or Idaho. I heard like Sun
heard it's
Valley and
amazing.
Coeur d'Alene is so
Yes.
nice. Yeah. Oh man, you're gonna have so much
I'm going to
fun.
go check it out.
Heck yeah. That'd be a lot of fun. I'm jealous. I want to travel. I haven't left, essentially gone on a trip or like slept outside of the house since February.
You should like trade jobs for like a month.
Oh my God. Yeah.
I'll take
Yeah, I would probably be sick of
I would
it.
do it for 6 months.
I don't know how you do it. And I don't know how Chris did it for so long, like being gone 20, 21 days out of the month and like being home 10 or even less. It just, it's crazy.
It's like the length of like time you're gone, but it's mostly the schedule.
Yeah.
And getting like pop-ups,
Yeah.
red eyes.
Like having
After
kind of
like day 14 or 15, you're like, okay, I'm ready to go home.
Yeah. I need a break. Yeah. I don't know how you do that, like with, especially too, like eating well and fitness and all that jazz too. That's gotta be really hard.
It's very hard.
Yeah. Man. Well, you'll have fun on the hike.
And lack of sleep.
Yeah. I need like my 8 to 10 hours at night.
I do too, but
Yeah. You're like, but I don't get it. Oh no.
And the last thing I want to do on my 10 days off is travel, but then you're like, I gotta do this. And I
want to hang out with my
wanna
friends. I want to
life.
see the people. Yeah. Yeah. And that's like for Chris too. Like he was just go, go, go. He'd come home and like hit the ground running and see all the friends he hasn't seen in the past month and all that stuff. So
your 10 days off is like timed.
Yeah.
And then when you're on the road for 20, like your sleep is kind of timed. Your eating is kind of timed, your shower. Some days I'm having the option to either sleep, eat, or shower. And I'm like, I'm going to sleep.
That's a good choice. I'll just put on extra deodorant. It's fine.
Yep.
Like a horse bath. It's fine. It's totally fine. All right. Well, do you have any questions before we get started?
I don't think so. I think I'm ready.
Okay. Yay. Chris said you're a little nervous and I was like, oh, it's going to be fun. It's just going to be us chatting just like this, but I'm just going to do an intro of you. That's basically it. We can go off on any tangent you want to. So it'll be fun. All right. So welcome to the podcast, Nicole. I'm so happy that you're here. Hi. So I happen to know Nicole. She's my first friend in a few episodes. So I know Nicole through my husband, Chris. She is a flight attendant and they used to fly together. He and she worked for the same company. And I just, I met her in passing. I remember one time you were like getting the plane together for a trip or something like this, something like that. And then
I actually do remember that. Yes.
yeah, because I remember I was like, oh my God, she's like so fit and tan. I don't know if that was like in like the heyday of like you were doing competitions. Was that like during the time? Because like you were like super fit.
I think that was like 5 years ago.
That you were like buff. Like I was like, I need to start working out. And then we just said, the second time that we've actually met in person is when you ran into us in Mexico. So I feel like I know you so much more than just through social media and through Chris, but I'm so happy that you're here and you agreed to come onto the podcast with me.
Thank you, Jess. I'm happy to be here with you today.
Yay. Yeah, and you're spending one of your like very like precious time off with me. So I'm really appreciative. But yeah, so Nicole is here. She is the second interview for October, which is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. So she is the second week for breast cancer awareness and for my big weekly push for stories for breast cancer survivors. So Nicole is also a breast cancer survivor. And from here, I'm just going to kind of let you take it away. Just tell me about the type of breast cancer, and then we can just go into how, when, what, where, and then just the process and just kind of learn about what your story is.
Sure. So I was diagnosed 2008, May of 2018, and it was DCIS, which is ductal carcinoma in situ. And I had stage 1 and stage 0, estrogen receptor positive.
Oh my gosh. There's like so many, sorry, I don't mean to interrupt. Like it's just, there's so many different like breast cancer, like I guess the delineations or like the way they describe it. I didn't know that either.
There was until I learned about breast cancer and until I got, diagnosed.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm sorry. So go ahead. So you had DCIS to stage 1 and stage 0.
Yep. And so I was first diagnosed with fatigue and jet lag because I was feeling a little off. I didn't have pain. I didn't have a lump. I was just kind of feeling real tired and kind of lethargic and just kind of off. And I was gaining a lot of weight, and I would have coffee, and on my 10 days off, I would literally, I wouldn't be able to function. Like I could function, but I was so tired. And this lasted for like 8-9 months, maybe almost a year. And I went to the doctor, and you don't really go to the doctor for feeling tired, you know what I mean? But I was like, this is weird. I told the doctor, I said, I've gained 22 pounds in a year. I think something's wrong with me. I'm really tired. And she said to me, you just have jet lag and fatigue from your job. You're fine. And I thought, maybe something's wrong with my hormones. So then my next month of the 10 days off, I went to see an endocrinologist. And I kind of asked her, should I do a hormone panel test and check my estrogen levels? And she said, maybe, yeah, let's just try it. And so we did that. And then the next 10 days of the month off, the third month, I went and saw a gynecologist. And she said, let's do a mammogram. And I was 38 years old. And you typically don't get a mammogram until you're 40.
Yeah.
So I saw her, we had the mammogram. And then my next 10 days off, she said, let's schedule another appointment because your mammogram was incomplete. So then we did that. 4th month came along, had another mammogram, and they said, okay, we think we might have found something, but you have really dense breast tissue, and And this lasted for about 6 months. Every 10 days off, I went to the doctor, and I was still feeling tired, and super, super exhausted. And I had some friends that were going to Hawaii, and they said, hey, meet me in Hawaii in your 10 days off. And I thought, I don't know, I'm really tired, but I love Hawaii. And I'm a total, like, live life to the fullest, have fun, you know, show up even if you're tired, just show up, you know? So I was like, yeah, I really want to go to Hawaii. So I went to Hawaii. This was like month 5. And I get to Hawaii, super tired, but I had a great time. And the last day I was there, I was on the cabana, like on the beach at the Marriott Hotel. And I told my friend, I said, I don't think I can go to dinner. I am so tired. And I wasn't drinking alcohol. I was resting. And I just kind of knew something wasn't right with my body. So then I flew back from Hawaii. This is month 5. And I ended up going to my needle biopsy. And I thought to myself, this is so weird. Like, something must be really wrong if I'm getting a needle biopsy. But
Yeah.
I never thought breast cancer, you know? So anyways, so then I got the needle biopsy, and this is like day, I think 8 or 9, where the nurse called me back the day after the needle biopsy. And I was getting my hair done with foils in my hair. I get the phone call, and she said, hey, can you come out to Palo Alto and go over your results? I said, no, I'm going tomorrow for my 20-day shift to work. And she said, well, do you want to hear the results over the phone? I said, sure. She said, well, you can't go on your 20-day shift. And I said, well, what do you mean? And then that's when she told me that I had the breast cancer. And I thought, oh my God, are you sure? So then that's kind of when I found out about the breast cancer. And then ever since then, the whole 9 days of my life changed. It was cancer doctor, you know, 2 different oncologists, radiation doctor, MRI, scans, blood tests. That's when my cancer doctor said, he said, you're not going to be able to have kids for at least 5 years. You might not be able to have kids, and you're going to have chemotherapy. And I mean, I looked death straight in the eye. I was so scared, and I was single, and I thought I was going to die of cancer. And I would wrap myself in a cocoon at night, those 9 days every day, in my down comforter on my bed, and I would just shake. Like, and I was so scared. And then after the 9 days, I had to go back to work because I couldn't get my next surgery and my appointments in for like 20 days or something. So I went to work to get my mind off things. And then that was the last like 10 days shift I did for 9 months, going through the treatments.
Wow.
And yeah.
That's gotta be, I got my cancer diagnosis over the phone, but I had Chris with me and I was kind of preparing for it. But that's gotta be so, I don't know, just like fucking terrible. You're sitting there getting your hair done and they tell you have cancer. Like, what?
I seriously, I still don't even really like believe it. I just like, I thought I was going to die. But
Did you have time to talk with the doctor? Like, I know you said, like, are you sure? Like, was it like a longer conversation? Like, okay, what's my survival rate? What kind of action are we doing? Or is that like the 9 days?
yeah, and they knew
going to
I was
appointments?
really scared. They knew I was scared, and they my doctor, he's awesome. He called me kiddo. He goes, an angel, and he goes, you know what, kiddo? He said, you're gonna die, but not of breast cancer. And then I started going on the internet and doing research and reading and looking up stuff, and I'm like, and that kind of messes with your mind a lot. So finally, you know, and I would be calling the doctor every day, every other day, well, with questions, and and just with fear. And they finally just said, you got to stop reading stuff on the internet.
Yeah.
So I did. I stopped for a long time.
Good job. That's what everybody says. They're like, do not go on the internet.
Yeah.
Because basically, like, you're terminally ill. You're gonna die. That's it. No matter what your symptoms, you're gonna die. And you're like, fuck.
And that's when I learned about, all the different kinds of breast cancers.
Okay.
And stages.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of knew there were stages, but I didn't really know what I know now.
Yeah.
So one of my friends, the next day, his wife died of cancer when she was 37. So she was like my age. And he took off work the whole day. We were at the doctor from like 10 in the morning till 4 p.m. And then that's when it was just like, it just kind of hit me. And it was so overwhelming. But I didn't know if I was going to get through it, and I did. I got through it, and I have a new perspective on life now. And I've always been a positive person, but
yeah, you have.
But like somebody told me once, they said, the time is the time, and the time is now. And I've always went by that too. Like, you don't wait for something to happen to celebrate life or to go out and do something, or,
Yeah.
So it was a wake up call for sure.
Yeah, I can imagine, like, it's everybody that I've spoken to so far is just like, it totally changes your life. It's, your old life is over. It's a new normal, and you kind of pick up in a new spot and move forward. And, you put a different perspective on life. And like you said, the time is time and the time is now. And as opposed to worrying about the past, worrying about the future, it's, all you have is now.
I when I first became a flight attendant, I was always like on California time because I live in California. So I'd be in like Nice, France, or, Vienna, Austria, or, somewhere where it's like a different time zone. I'm like, well, it's noon in California, so I should do this and I should eat that. And that's when that pilot said to me, the time is the time and the time is now.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's a solid advice, solid quote. I like that. So when you're talking about like your whole process, like 9 months, so you took the 9 months off of work for chemo, and that was
well, I did the
surgery too?
I had time because I was stage 1. I did the fertility treatments.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that.
I did 2 rounds of that, and it was such a cool experience. Like, my body thought I was pregnant because I would give myself shots, and I did 2 rounds of it. So I was doing this for like a month and a half because I did 2 weeks, and then I gave my body a break for like 10 days or 2 weeks, and then I did it again for 2 weeks because I wanted to freeze my eggs because I do want kids.
Mm-hmm.
And they suggest you freeze your eggs before chemotherapy. So I'm so glad I did that. So I have 13 eggs in the freezer.
Yeah.
And I used to be like deathly afraid of needles and blood and all that. And now, like, since I had to do all those shots by myself 3 times a day, now I'm and plus I had to get blood tests every week before chemo, the day before chemo, to measure your white blood cell count and the liver numbers and all that. Now I'm like, I can do it now.
That's amazing. I cannot even think about giving myself shots.
But I'm so glad I did that. I'm so glad I did that.
It's kind of like you're not going to be wondering what if, you have it there for when the time is necessary or the time's right. So
absolutely,
it's kind of like a huge weight off your shoulders. So tell me about chemo. I remember following a lot of your stories and seeing you go to treatment, but tell me about the process of that.
Every week I had chemo once a week for 4 months, and it was a chemo called Taxol. And I was, they take, before your chemo, they kind of take you and show you around the room, and they kind of go through what to expect. And my mom was with me, and I couldn't even go in the room. I was in the room, but I was like really scared. I remember I started crying, and I said, Mom, we got to get out of here, because I thought I was going to die. Mm-hmm. But, you see these people with the IV, getting their chemo, and you're like, oh my gosh. And you just keep thinking, oh my God, I might die of cancer. I'm going to die or whatever. And then the first chemo was okay. Each week I had a friend from Minnesota and some other friends come, help me through the chemo, and they would stay with me a couple days, and they would like clean my house and cook and fold my laundry and just kind of help me and like be supportive. And that was amazing. And I had the port, so I got the port. I first had the fertility treatments, and then I had the lumpectomy.
Mm-hmm.
And they removed my tumor was the size of a piece of rice. They removed it. Yeah, it was pretty small. And the doctor said, this tumor has been growing in your body for 1.5 to 2 years. And when he removed it, he also removed some lymph nodes.
Mm-hmm.
And my arm is still kind of numb underneath, and it's
really?
I have numbness, and just kind of pain when I fly. I have like radiation fluid that kind of swells up kind of.
Interesting.
And it's just kind of painful, but it's not too bad. But yeah, I had so he came in after the lumpectomy. He came in and he said, I have good news and bad news. He said, your lymph nodes are clear negative, thank God. And he said, your breast tissue we took out the size of like a nickel for that little tumor, it has some cancer cells around the edges. So you have stage 0 also. So I had stage 1 and then I had stage 0. And he said, we got to go back in the breast and take more tissue out. And so he said, we can either do it next week. And I still had tubes, like the drain tubes.
Yeah. And
I said, let's do like a month of healing or 3 weeks of healing, then we'll do it again. And so after that, then that's when I started the chemo. I got the port. I think I got the port during the second lumpectomy. And then I started the chemo. And I had it once a week for 4 months. And by the 5th or 6th chemo, excuse me, it was starting to get a little rough. Like I was super tired. I never had any nausea, which is awesome.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
And you just kind of, it's weird. Like you can't, I worked out during the chemo. You have the steroids and you have other medicine, Herceptin. For my type of breast cancer, I had Herceptin.
Okay.
But it was rough. I remember I had a pimple on my face, and I had, and I squeezed it, and I had like a blister on my foot from like working out or something, and it just didn't heal for like 3 months. Just popping a pimple in my blister on my foot. And I would put like, ointment on it or something, and it just wouldn't heal for like literally 3 months.
Oh, your body was fighting real hard. It was fighting cancer and the chemo. So
yeah. And you never think in your life you're gonna have chemo. You never think you're gonna have cancer.
No.
But I had amazing support system. Every week I had someone there for me. I had like a boxing theme every week, and I documented it. But yeah, all my friends from Minnesota flew out here and just kind of showed up for me, and it was great.
I love it. Are your parents still in Minnesota too?
My mom was in Minnesota,
okay.
And she came out to California, I think 3 different times for different things. And she really took care of me. I couldn't move my arm. My arm was like this. I couldn't brush my hair. I couldn't take a bath, a shower. My niece and my mom helped me bathe and helped me put my hair in a ponytail. And they were, I couldn't even like get out of bed to like lift yourself up.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, Ivy, my little niece, she is my pride and joy, and she was so strong for me.
That's amazing.
She's 15 years old. She's going to be 16. She was 14
14 then. Yeah.
Yeah.
just a baby. And, you know, support comes in all shapes and sizes, and for her to be there for you and be your rock it's so huge. It's so huge to have that support system.
You know, I had so many people there for me, Jess. I
Yeah.
mean, I was so overwhelmed by the cards, the emails, the text messages, the phone calls. I have really good health insurance, and one of my really good friends from childhood, her dad passed away of cancer, and she set up this GoFundMe page, and I thought, I was so embarrassed. I thought, oh my
No.
God, like this is embarrassing. And she said, no, you're going to have a lot of doctor bills. She said, with cancer, you're going to have a lot of doctor bills. And that was a blessing too. People I don't even know came through and helped, and it was pretty special.
Yeah. Well, rally the troops, especially, you know, to help support somebody who's going through a tough time, you know, whether or not you know somebody, like whether it's a friend of a friend, it's just knowing that this is a dark time in their life. And I'm sure some of those people that you don't know kind of been through something similar, or had friends going through something similar. And, you know, having people help and rally behind you, I think is so awesome. And I totally get why you're saying like about like the GoFundMe, like, oh my God, people are going to think I'm asking for money. But I think it was so smart because you weren't working either. So having to pay for those bills, I can imagine they add up.
Well, you
And
know,
all of other bills add up too.
and I didn't even know about disability. I didn't know that comes out of your paycheck in the state of California. So I was okay. I had disability.
Oh, good.
And
Okay.
then I had some help from my employer, the GoFundMe. We had a benefit. My family and friends had a benefit in my hometown.
Oh my God.
And that was kind of a highlight of all this. I mean, it was kind of like community where everyone came together and really rallied and showed their support. We had a chicken queue. We had
What's that?
where they have like a grill out
Oh,
with
chicken queue, like a barbecue. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I was like,
We
what?
ran out of chicken. We had chicken, and then we ran out of chicken 2 more times. It
Oh
was
my gosh.
like literally half the town of Winona showed up. It was so amazing. I had friends from, 5 years old. One of my best friends flew out from California. We've known each other since 5 years old. She came to surprise me. I had teachers from 5th grade, 8th grade, 10th grade, and I was standing there and I saw the teachers walk up, and I thought, oh my gosh. And I just started crying. I was like, how did you know about this? And they said, well, we write it in the paper, and so-and-so told me. And I was just like, wow. It was just, and then we had like a live band. We had face painting. We had silent auctions. We had a bake sale. I mean, my neighbors showed up for this. In growing up, my neighbors and teachers and friends and my friends' parents, and people drove like super far. And I was like, oh my God. And then when I pulled up in the morning, to like a hometown bar where we had it. There was like this huge awning and all these chairs, like these white chairs, and this like silent auction that was set up. And I was just like, my mom's friend, or my mom works at this company called Windcraft in Winona, and they make sports memorabilia stuff, and they donated a bunch of sports stuff. And I had friends from Minneapolis that I've known since like 1st grade that brought all this cool sports stuff. And I thought, oh my God. And when I pulled up, I felt like it was my wedding. I felt like I was getting married. And I was just like, wow. But it was incredible. And
That's awesome.
another highlight of all this was one of my other really, really good friends came from Minnesota, and she and I went to the beach. We drove to Carmel and Big Sur, and we went for a small little hike, and she we were talking on my couch that night. She was giving me a massage, and I was kind of falling asleep, and she said, we're gonna work on your vision board. She said, we're gonna make your dreams come true. When you're done with all this breast cancer treatments, we're gonna do your labor of love aprons. And that's kind of how the labor of love aprons kind of was born.
Yeah, I was just going to
Like,
ask you
we're gonna
about
make
this.
aprons.
Perfect. Yeah.
She's like, and then tomorrow we're gonna go to San Francisco and we're gonna try on wedding dresses. And we did. And it was so fun. And
Oh my God.
she's my friend Shelly, and she was really an angel through all this. And then, you know, just the fellow women, the fellow survivors who I talked to through all this and I made friends with, and they became my survivor sisters that have been through it, that are going through it, or have had someone close to them go through it. I met a lot of friends, and because I was anti-chemo, I wasn't going to do chemo. And then I talked to over 45 women who had chemotherapy, and they said, this is like life insurance, you know, just do it. And I talked to a woman, two women 70 years old, and they had breast cancer in their 40s, and they had the chemo, and they're still thriving and they're doing great. So I thought, okay, I think I should do chemotherapy. And then also, you know, my mom, she and I don't really have a bond or a really like mother-daughter relationship. We never have. And all these years, I kind of come from a dysfunctional family, and all these years I prayed to God. I just thought, I really want love, help, and support. I really just want, you know, this love, help, and support. And I would pray for it every day, every week, every month. And I got it through breast cancer. It was kind of neat, you know, but my mom, she showed up for me in such a big way. And she made me feel, for once in my life, you know, she made me feel like she loved me, and that we had, like, you know, real love there. I mean, she was there for my surgery. She was there for me through a lot. She came out to my house and she cleaned my house 3 days straight. And my mom is so clean. You can lick the floor at her house. She's so clean.
Oh my gosh.
And yeah, she came out to California for like 10 days, 3 different times.
That's incredible. It's kind of like I've been seeing this as a recurring theme. You touched on 2 of them, basically how awesome the cancer community is, just the support and the connections that you make with other cancer survivors. It's crazy how supportive everybody is and willing to help in any way they can, give you advice, whatever you need. And then also like the blessings in disguise from cancer. And it's perfect. That's like one of them. You established a greater relationship with your mom. And I think that's so amazing, even though how shitty cancer is, to get that gift, I think is really beautiful.
It really is. And I still hold it in my heart. Just my mom and just all my childhood friends, you know, their love was the most humbling thing I've ever experienced. And the love from my mom. And I was able to check off things on my vision board. And then when I went through the chemotherapy, I didn't even know that you could do this cold cap thing to save your hair.
Yeah.
Depending on, you know, what kind of cancer you have. And it doesn't always work, but it worked for me. And I don't know if you've ever heard of the company Praxair.
No. I remember you going to pick up your dry ice, like
yes, every week on Tuesdays. Yeah. I drove 45 minutes. I would go in the morning to get the blood test, like 20 minutes from my house, and then I would drive from there to get the dry ice. Every day I had to be there by noon. And They actually donated the dry ice for my cold cap.
Oh my God.
So that was also a blessing. And my employer, they told me, Nicole, you have a job waiting for you when you get through this. And so it's just everybody just came together, and
That
it
means a
was
lot.
amazing.
That's so awesome.
So yeah.
So with the cold cap, so it worked. Like, did it reduce hair loss, or was it like it totally restricted it? Because I don't never remember you.
It puts your follicles in like
Yeah.
hibernation mode,
Okay.
so that the chemo doesn't like go into that cell. Because the first thing it hits is like your hair, your skin, and it, like I said, it doesn't always work, but it was an hour of cold capping, negative like 30 below zero, like it's freezing cold, capping like an hour before the chemo, and then during the chemo a couple hours, and then a couple hours after. And I mean, you're so tired and drugged up on chemo, and you're kind of a bobblehead. But it worked. I mean, my hair got a little thin, and I wasn't able to color it or really cut it for like a year. But I mean, it worked. I mean, it got a little thin, but I'm so glad I did that. I mean, you can live without your hair and your breasts, but I'm a flight attendant. I'm single. I wanted to keep my hair.
Yeah. And that's a good resource to know about too. Not everybody knows it's
Absolutely.
possible. So I think that's really cool that it exists. That's really great. You kept your hair. I was about to say, I don't ever remember you losing any hair, like watching the whole process. I thought it was really cool that you documented it and you shared your story kind of live on
Yeah,
at
it
least
was actually
Instagram.
fun to do that, to
Yeah.
educate other people about it.
Yeah.
And like after I did that, I went to this like charity event. It's called Hair to Stay. And there's this lady named, I think her name's Bethany, but she has these events where people can donate, to cancer charities, and it helps people with certain grants for keeping their hair, and they actually helped me with mine. And also with the fertility stuff, there's a place called Live Strong, and they help pregnant women and women that have breast cancer, that want to do the fertility, or any kind of cancer, not just breast cancer, but it's called Live Strong.
Huh.
And I was able to afford to do the fertility because of their help.
Wow. I didn't even know these foundations, this system, these types of
I had
systems
no
are out
idea.
there. And that just goes to show, like, well, doing your research kind of did you some good. So I don't know if that was like from you chatting with other breast cancer survivors, other cancer patients, or is this something that you found? Okay.
I didn't really hear a lot of resources from nurses or doctors. They're busy taking care of people, and some of them probably know about it, but they don't always remember to tell every single patient, but yeah, I had help through the cold cap, the fertility, just everything. It was really awesome.
That's so awesome. I'm making a note for that to put in the episode notes. That's a good resource.
Live Strong, Hair to Stay, Praxair.
Hair to Stay.
I think Hair to Stay is based in San Francisco.
Okay. Cool. That's great. So you touched on your vision board. How is that going? And then ultimately that kind of got things going for Labor of Love aprons. Tell us more about that.
Yeah,
really
so
fun.
I make aprons and masks. I travel the world for my job. And one thing on my vision board is also I hike national parks. I want to try to hike every national park in the US. And I think I have 12 in. I have like probably I think there's either 59 or 61
Wow.
national parks. But I'm gonna do it, and that's on my vision board. I'm still making the masks and aprons. I had all this fabric because I travel around the world. So if I only have like 4 hours in Italy, sometimes I go to that fabric, try to go to a fabric store and and try to look for unique fabric. And so before COVID hit, I had like a bunch of different fabrics, inventory of fabrics. And then COVID hit and I thought, I can make masks. Because when COVID hit, you couldn't just walk into a store and get fabric or buy fabric. And then you try to buy it online and everything's sold out.
Oh my gosh.
Or
Supply
back
chain was crazy. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow. So you switched over to masks and you do both now. You have awesome fabrics too. The patterns are so cool. Like that lemon pattern that I got for my friend for her apron. She's obsessed with that. Is that, I think
that's the one from Italy.
I was about to say, I think you said that one was from Italy. That one's so pretty.
Jess, I just want to thank you because you and your husband, Chris, you guys have been so supportive.
Oh,
I mean, through this whole entire couple years I've been going through, I mean, not even just the cancer, but you were supportive of my masks, my aprons, my breast cancer. Even when I worked with Chris, he's from Minnesota, so I connected with him. And
good Midwesterner.
I've stayed in touch with him. Yeah. And he's just such a great guy.
Oh my God, you're telling me.
You guys are wonderful.
I got lucky. Well, we love you and we happily support you. Like you are so talented between the masks and the aprons, and just like getting to follow you around the world is just so fun to watch you travel. And just if we can help support in just a little bit, in a little way, oh my God.
Isn't my life so great on Instagram and Facebook?
Just freaking living the charmed life. I know you're busy and like you travel your ass off. Like they work your ass off. I understand that, but like you make the most of it. And just, like I think that could have been also a side effect from cancer, living the most of it and enjoying it the best way that you can. It's so fun to watch you. And I know it's not as easy as it looks, but it's really fun.
Thank you, Jess.
Yeah.
So, I feel like all my bonds with people in my life that I've touched their lives and they've touched mine, I feel like they just grew stronger and they still do. And, you just got to do the right thing in life and just be kind and show up for people. And my mom raised me to be a good person and to work hard and to do that and to be that type of a person. And I'm glad my roots are from Midwest. And I also wanted to mention on my dad's side, I going through cancer, I got to meet a cousin that I've never met. And she actually lives in California, like an hour from my house. And I was able to meet her. And now we have a close relationship. And I'm just so glad that I was blessed to now have a person like her in my life. And she was also one of the people that took me to chemo and she was, real supportive. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
Little blessings you get from it. Speaking of I guess genetic familial, is the type of breast cancer that you had, is that like genetically based or is that just like non-related? Is there any cancer in your background at all or no?
I did the BRCA test and it was negative.
Okay.
And my grandma had colon cancer and she passed away before I was even born. There's not really too much. I mean, there's some, cancer history in there, but no, that's why I was kind of in shock when I got the diagnosis. I thought, well, maybe I have breast cancer because I'm a flight attendant, or I spray tan, or I ate eggs and chicken, lots of eggs and chicken for 7 years doing my fitness and bikini shows. And then I just finally came to grace with it. I was talking to so many women who aren't flight attendants, that don't spray tan, that are vegetarians, that are 20 years old, 30 years old, and they don't have breast cancer. So, my doctor said, it's nothing you ate. It's nothing you did. It's kind of like eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
It's so easy to blame yourself though. It's so easy. I thought the same thing. I was like, I was vegan for a couple of years. Did I fuck up my adrenals and hormones? And that's what gave me thyroid cancer. Like I started like questioning everything, but you can't pick that apart. You can't say it's your fault. It's what you did unless, you're a smoker and you get lung cancer. Obviously, you did it to yourself. But
There's people that have lung cancer that have never smoked.
yeah, exactly. So like, that's not their fault. That would suck. Like, I was talking with, I had an interview yesterday, and there was, the lady she was saying that she did all the right things. She meditated, she exercised, she took care of herself, she ate right, mostly plant-based, and she still got cancer. Like,
Wow.
she did all the right things. So it's just like, there's nothing that you do or that you don't do. It's just luck of the draw. I don't know. It's crazy. So it's definitely nothing you did. It's not from spray tanning.
Yeah. And mentally, this is always on your mind.
Mhm.
You get scared. Oh, I have backache, or I have a pain in my arm or my leg. You kind of always have it in the back of your mind,
Mhm.
that it could come back, or you might have it, or
Or it metastasized somewhere. Yeah.
yes. And emotionally, it's draining because it's fearful all the time.
Mhm.
Um, and physically, the treatments really affected, my quality of life. Not a lot, but definitely, um, you know, like I could have lost my hair, and my breast, it has like a indentation,
Mm.
kind of, I don't know how to say it, but I'm healthy and I'm alive.
Yeah.
And, like in our 20s, we struggle with zits, and in our 40s, we struggle with wrinkles. But now my new perspective of life, as a woman, you look in the mirror and you're kind of critical of yourself. Like, oh, I look kind of ugly, or I look kind of fat, or, whatever it is. But then now or just certain things, but now I just think, I'm alive and I'm healthy.
Yeah.
And it's just like a different perspective on your self-worth, your self-image. And so, yeah, but it wasn't easy going through this single, 38 years old, but I still had lots and lots of support and love.
Yeah. Sounds like you had a fantastic support system.
I really
You have
did.
a lot of people who love you.
Thank
Says
you.
a lot about you.
Thank you, Jess.
You're welcome. So what else, like any advice? You kind of had some advice throughout the chat, but like, is there like any advice you have to, I guess, listeners, whether they're, cancer survivors, cancer patients, even like friends or family that have never had cancer, anything like that? Any advice?
I do have advice, and I just want to say, like, whatever your life is like, whatever you're feeling inside, somebody told me this once. She said, stop walking around life that there's something wrong with you. She said, there's nothing wrong with you. You might not feel good enough, if you don't have a 4-year degree, or you have a dysfunctional family, or whatever it may be. Like, I realized that when I had breast cancer, I thought to myself, what was I thinking? Why did I walk around life thinking there was something wrong with me? When now I do have breast cancer, now there really is something kind of wrong with me. Now I just kind of, I don't think that way anymore, like the new perspective. But aside from that, listen to your body, listen to your intuition. If I would have listened to that doctor that I have, jet lag and fatigue,
Mm-hmm.
I could be walking around today with stage 3 or 4.
Yeah, because yours wasn't palpable. Like,
I
it
knew
was
something
so
wasn't right.
small, but your body. And I think for people who tend to be a little bit more physically active, are definitely more in tune with their body, and they know, they're like, something's wrong, something's up. And I'm really glad that you didn't take no for an answer, or fatigue.
Somebody told me that once.
Yeah.
Somebody in New York said, you'd be a great saleswoman, because you do not take no for an answer. Yeah, I mean, life is about action, not just thinking about action. You know, just live life to the fullest, and every day's a gift.
It sure is. You're so enlightened. I'm enjoying this. I have enjoyed this, but this is such a great talk. I'm so glad that you joined me. Thank you so much for sharing your story and your insights.
Thank you, Jess, for having
Oh
me.
my gosh, it was a pleasure. You're just like this like ball of sunshine. It makes me so happy to actually like talk with you. I love it. I'm gonna see if Chris wants to come in and say hi. He said he wanted to say hi, so I'll stop recording.
Can we get another, can we do another
We're done.
picture of us together?
Yeah, I'll stop
We're not
recording.
Let's get another selfie.
We're done.